Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. You can probably see that I'm in a different space today. I'm not in my usual studio setup, and that is because I'm currently in Melbourne. I'm down here for about 10 days. I've got a few jobs down here, a couple of meetings, and I'm also trying to film some content before I leave, although to be honest I've been a little bit lazy about it. So this look is actually inspired by Khloe Kardashian. Let's just say I know I look nothing like her, but I loved her makeup. So I watched episode 1 of season 12 the other day and she is looking fierce. She looks so good, and this makeup here is inspired by the makeup that she was wearing in her more interview parts on the show. I've definitely had to improvise with some of the products that I've used because I just didn't have exactly what I needed down here. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I have a lot of stuff here, but I didn't plan to do this look, so I just didn't have the exact products I would have loved to use. So I have improvised a little bit, and this is as close as I can get with what I've got at the moment. Anyway, that's enough chatting from me for now. If you like what you see, makeup wise, then please keep on watching. I'm going to start off with my eyes, so I'm gonna zoom you in for that one. This new camera zooms in way closer than my old one. I don't even want to take it any further. This is like too far, too close to my face, too much information. Starting with eyelid prep. This is pretty much how I like to prep my eyelids always. I apply my concealer first and then blend it in. And I'm using my damp beauty blender for this. I find it blends everything out really nicely. This is my Mercier translucent loose setting powder, and I'm now going to apply that over my concealer. This is my all-time favourite powder because it doesn't make your makeup cakey. Anytime I'm using an eyeshadow, I always prep my eyes in this exact same way because it makes your eyeshadow last longer and it doesn't crease, and your eyeshadow just looks really well blended on top of it. I'm now going to use my Anastastia Beverly Hills Shadow Couture World Traveller palette. And I'm going to start with this colour here called Fudge. And today I'm actually starting on the outer corners of my eyes, and then I'll move inwards a little bit later. So what I'm doing here is adding the colour, then blending it out, and then I'm re-adding it. That's basically because I'm not a heavy-handed makeup artist. I would rather add more when necessary than go in guns blazing and then have to remove it later. So I like to build in colour. Back into the World Traveller palette, and I'm now going to use Intense Gaze. And I'm using a Luxe Smoky Shader brush from Zoeva for this. It's a little bit flatter, so the colour packs on really nicely. Then I'm using Windscreen Wiper Motions just to blend it all in, and I am covering that Fudge colour. I just want that there for a little bit of depth. Now back to my fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm just blending all of that top part in under my brow bone. This is one of my favourite eyeliners. It's called Barbarella Brown by Charlotte Tilbury, and I use it pretty much every day for my upper inner waterline. I'm also applying that just to the outer third, just the very tip of my lash line. And then I'm smudging all of that into my lash line with a small Zoeva brush, but still really keeping that intensity there. I'm going to go back in with Fudge, but on a pencil brush. And again apply that to the outer thirds of my eyes, but underneath this time. Unfortunately I didn't have the best brushes for this, but I do love a pencil brush. And again, just blend that out a little bit with a clean-ish brush, or one of the brushes you were blending with before. If I would have had all my brushes here, this wouldn't be my first choice. Now I'm really going to blend that out because I don't want that part to be too intense. I don't think the pinkish shade suits me that well underneath my eyes. And now it's going to look like a big bruise until we clean it all up. Before I go any further, I'm now going to apply my primer, which is the Mercier Foundation Primer, and today I'm using Radiance Bronze. This is so beautiful and just gives the skin a really beautiful, dewy, bronzy glow, which I'm all about. I also removed all that product under my eye with baby wipes, and now I'm using a Zoeva buffing brush to blend all this in. It looks pretty dark until I put the foundation over the top. For foundation, I've used the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation in the colour Medium 6. I am usually Medium 6 in her Light Wonder foundation, but for some reason it shows up generally a little bit paler on me in the Magic Foundation. But with this Mercier primer underneath, I actually don't need to mix any other shade with it. It's come out really perfect because it's just added that extra bit of warmth that I didn't have from the Magic foundation. Now to concealing, I'm going to use a mix of the IT Cosmetics by Under Eye in the shade Light and Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 20. I like to use the thicker concealer, which is the pale one underneath, but then kind of water it down, I guess, with the other concealer. It was just a little thick for me otherwise, and also I really like the mix of colours under my eyes. I'm now going to apply mascara, and my favourite right now is the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir. Because my eyelashes go quite crazy quite easily, I just use these small strokes to make them as neat as possible. I'm now going to apply some false eyelashes, and usually if I was at home with full access to all my products, I would be using a full set, but down here I only have individuals and these little babies here, so I'm going to use a mixture of those. These lashes are pretty much the same the whole way along, so I'm just going to grab a couple and put them on the ends of my lash line. Those little clusters don't really make the impact that I wanted them to, so I'm going to use a mixture of double flares and normal flares in the Ardell individual lashes. I'm going to use a mixture because the normal flares, these ones here, are slightly longer than these, so I think they'll create a nice variation in the lash line. I'm still leaving those other lashes there, by the way. I think this look can be quite lashy. I have a full eyelash tutorial for individual lashes on my channel, and for a full set actually, so if you'd like more detail in how to apply individual lashes, then definitely check that out. I've answered lots of questions on there. I'm now going to do a little bit of Kardashian contouring, and I'm just going to use my Laura Mercier Flawless Contour Palette. I'm using the contour number 1 on my little Ray Morris square kabuki brush. I like to really hollow out my cheekbones, starting from the top of the ear and working to the corner of the mouth. Then I also do a little bit down my nose, just because I'm calling it a Kardashian contour after all, and then just a little bit in my temple as well to balance it all out. I'm now going to bronze with my Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion and my Luxe Face Definer brush by Zoeva. And I'm just going to apply that to the outer perimeters of my face. A really easy trick to remember is the shape of 3. I'm now going to use Curtis Collection Mineral Shimmer Blush in the colour Coral Queen. Now onto highlighting, and I'm using the Balm's Mary Luminizer as per usual. I'm highlighting in all my favourite places, the tops of the cheekbones of course, the tip of my nose, my cupid's bow, and a little bit on the inner corner of my eye. I'm now going to finish off with my lips, and Khloe actually had more of a gloss on, but I have very limited product here in Melbourne, so I'm going to use Koko by Kylie Cosmetics in the liquid lipstick. My best tip for using this product is just to do one layer, otherwise it starts to get a little bit too thick. I'm loving this makeup look. I'm excited to wear it out today. I don't often wear that much makeup in my everyday life, so this will be quite a lot for me. So I'm excited to wear it out around the streets of Melbourne, and I'll try and get a few cute photos today as well. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one.